What if you could have a roleplay party of dozens or hundreds of people and raise money for charity in the process? Welcome to Gaining Advantage. Welcome to Gaining Advantage. We are using role-playing games like Dungeons & Dragons to make others' lives better. We have a big announcement about some free stuff that's available right now. If you go to our website, Wyrmworkspublishing.com, and sign up for our newsletter, you get 23 4K high-resolution combat maps, all of the maps that were created for our accessible adventures of the week. Now, those were available for $1 per adventure's worth of maps, which is usually 2 maps per adventure. All right, so it's total with the 10 different adventures. We had 23 maps in all. Right? And they are now available in gridless, square, or hex grid options. 69 total maps, right? 4K high resolution, plus the Nullomancer Arcane Tradition, which is wizards who manipulate disintegration energy. All right, it's a $12 value for all that stuff, free when you sign up for our newsletter on our website. And there's more freebies coming along the way, so get signed up now so you don't miss any of them. Right? And speaking of getting the information that you need, right, very soon we are going to have our book kickstarting Limitless Heroics, including characters with disabilities, mental illness, and neurodivergence in 5th edition. All right, we're going to have, if you get signed up for our newsletter, you will find out as soon as it's available. We already have the preview version available on DriveThruRPG. And so sign up for our newsletter so you don't miss it when it comes available. And so now with that said, let's fly down to Australia for today's interview. Tabletop role-playing games benefit the players, but the benefits can extend a whole lot further, especially when the producers and the community are fundraisers for charity. And so today we welcome Rhydian Oneuppington John, the founder of Roleplay4Charity, turning Halloween into a treat for a whole lot of people. Welcome, Rhydian.
Hi, Dale. Good to be here.
So what would you like us to know about you personally, specifically speaking to the tabletop role-playing game crowd?
To be honest, that I'm pretty new to it. I've been doing some role-playing for about 5 years at best. With a lot of it being Dungeons and Dragons, of course, but for a good year, dipped into some one-shots with a bunch of different stuff. And honestly, I just wanted something fun to take up my time and maybe even find a way to make it work for me, in a sense, but work for other people as well. I think be fun. Everything's a group game.
Yeah, exactly. And so tell us about your work. How does Roleplay4Charity work?
Well, in order to go into Roleplay4Charity, it's pretty much good to go to when it started, and it kind of started last year when, of course, everything fell down. And October was coming up, and I thought, how can I have a Halloween experience this year that would not only help myself as a good time to distract myself from all the badness, but also spread a bit of joy. And so I came up with something called D&D for Halloween, a hashtag pretty much, where I pretty much handed my account over to the tiefling bard I made called Shanty. And she pretty much goes around inviting other people to just put their avatars and role-playing characters online and pretty much pretend that there's a party going on. And pretty much that went very well, to the point that I decided we should try and do this again. Not just for this year, but for Halloween, but also expand it so it's for more than just Dungeons and Dragons, of course, and also see if I can do something to make good towards the world. For instance, there was a event that we tried as a kind of a, I don't want to say prototype for this one, but definitely just to get the running legs, which I called Roleplay for Pride, where we did pretty much the same thing, but for Pride Month, and with proceeds going towards the Trevor Project. And that was good. And going into this with zero goals in mind, I'm pretty happy with the money that we raised. So coming into it now, we want to do bigger and better, as we pretty much do it back in the home roots, as it were, of this lovely little project that I've kind of got myself into.
All right. So how do people get involved?
Well, this kind of starts about a month or so beforehand, because as we're recording this is September. We generally call out to people to say, hey, we're going to do this fun thing. Who wants in? Who wants to help out for a good cause and to have a good laugh? And those who volunteer pretty much have spent the whole month being in character for Twitter. And that's how the main of it work. But of course, we do understand that other accounts can't exactly do that. Like, it's a business account. So we have other ways people join in that regard. Like, for the first time, I've actually have the Wreckage RPG podcast being able to do a couple of one-shots this month. And which is very surprising for me. They absolutely surprised that on me, and that's lovely for them. So a nice free plug back for those boys there.
All right. So then, is there a you have like a pinned tweet that that people go to, or something like that?
Exactly. We pretty much have a tweet that we keep passing around, and if they say, hey, I want in on this, I pretty much add them to a Twitter list, and pretty much use that list to help organize that thing, like ask questions towards the characters to make sure they have something to work with, as it were, and pretty much try and keep the party staying alive, as it were.
Okay, so we are recording this, as you mentioned, in September, but this episode won't post until October 22nd, and some people won't see that until after the fact. Is it too late to get involved?
I actually want to say no. I think it would be a bit exclusionary of us to not have people just join in at the last second of, oh, shoot, this is something fun and something for a charity that I want to do. Hi, I'll just put on this, and hi, can I have in? And I'd say, sure. Like, and even if you don't exactly want to go in and do that, there is still, of course, the time where you do donate to charity, as we pass around the Tiltify link and just see how well it goes, as it were.
So how have you seen lives change because of your work?
I can at least see mine change because of this. I kind of noticed when I initially started with D&D for Halloween, I pretty much just dived into the Twitter role-playing game space, and how wonderful it is at times, and meeting some fantastic people with it. And I want to give this as a way of giving back, as it were, as a personal thank you to those people who have treated me kind. And yeah, it's been wonderful here.
No, I have to agree with that. You know, I as far as especially in the Twitter tabletop role-playing game space. I've been on Twitter for a long time, but I've kind of more recently jumped into that area as I've gotten more focused on what I'm doing, and there's a lot of really tremendous people there. There's, as with any public space, there are exceptions to that rule, but yeah, when you start looking around there's just tremendous people, and just a lot of people that just want to have fun and support each other and stuff like that. So it's definitely an area worth checking out. Better than some other social media areas that tend to attract different crowds. So if you just rescued a djinn from the hands of an ifrit, and it offers you 3 wishes to achieve Roleplay for Charity's goals. What do you wish for?
I would wish for actually some other ways for people to help out. Like, I think that's number 1 on the list, to see what different avenues we can go with this. Of course, there's the Roleplay Marathon, which is a pretty daunting task for those who genuinely think about it. A whole 31 days of being someone else. Criminy. And there's also different avenues, and we have experimented in those ways. RPG Apparel, being a fantastic store, has opted to pretty much make a whole line of shirts, hoodies, and cloaks for the event, and half the proceeds, of course, going to the charity of this month, which is the World Cancer Research Fund. And we have decided half, just because, truth be told, RPG Apparel is the only people outside of the charity is getting money out of this, but that's fine because that's their job. Mm-hmm. Like, they're literally doing their job to help us out here, and I'm more than happy to do that. And yeah, he's been kind, that guy. He has been wonderful, and he definitely deserves what he gets, because he is like a very strong part of the RPG scene on Twitter, RPG Apparel. So I'm more than happy to give him love there. So that's wish 1. Wish 2, I gotta say, anything to help me more organize this backstage. This is definitely me having a crash course in organizing stuff. This is possibly this is actually like the first time there's been like a month advance on the sign up. So and it definitely shows it better, because we have like 15 signups ready to go before this thing started. And a podcast now willing to help us out. Great. I definitely help to organize it in my field. And maybe as the last wish, I'm going to say some actual goals on the charity's end. I do admit that this thing started as a, hey, fun thing. Look at the fun thing. It's a thing that we have for fun. And then the charity's kind of tacked on the end of that, and there's not much goals in that regard. I kind of wish there was a way to change it in that sense. Like, perhaps more conversation with the charity of choice, I feel, which probably goes back into wish number 2. But again, I do think that we can have a fun thing be good. And I hope one day Roleplay for Charity, well, I say hope, it is. I hope it could do it more.
All right. Yeah. So speaking of, what projects do you plan for the future? What would you have thoughts on what you'd like things to turn into, or what you envision possibilities?
Whatever it is, I wish Roleplay for Charity just to get bigger and better in any way we can make it. When it comes to other projects, it's a lot of up here stuff that has literally nothing written down or organized. or not even on the vision board yet, as I keep on hearing about. It is a bit of a struggle with me sometimes just to get those anywhere. So maybe I'll just say, watch this space for now. Something else may come out of it, or something might not.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we will have all your contact information in our show notes, but what's the one best place that you'd like people to start to learn more about you or to contact you?
I think the best for this right now is to contact the Roleplay4Charity Twitter page, that is at Role4Charity, and roll for as in ROLE, and pretty much go there. The DMs are always open for those who want questions and answers on what's happening. When it comes to me personally, at Oneuppington, it's there for you. And I find that I'm good with little things that I think would make a bit of good in the world, like something I think I'm getting notoriously at is quote tweeting cute pictures of kittens or sunsets with the hashtag #andbreathe, which something I kind of started since I believe that was the January 6th. Yeah, I believe that was at January 6th, or was that the Black Lives Matter? I honestly can't remember, but it's generally just me noticing that I've been retweeting an awful lot about the world's terribleness, and I thought, I need to find a picture of a dog or something, and just try and get some moments of breathing in there. I think that would have been very good. When it comes to anyway, I should probably put this back into Roleplay4Charity. When it comes to our link, Tiltify link for Roleplay for Halloween this year would be in the show notes. It hasn't exactly been released yet as of recording. We like to pull that out October 1st and pretty much close it October 31st as pretty much a goal of this is what we've done for this whole month. I believe that's the only 3 links that people should truly know. I know that I've discussed other people and what they might be doing, and of course, those links as well. And Dale, thank you for helping me out with this. This is because, for those who don't know, this is my first time having an interview like this, and Dale has been so accommodating as I've just been juggling dangerous objects around here because it's just been wild for me the last few months, especially to organize this. Thank you, Dale, for giving me a good half-hour conversation on your podcast. That is lovely.
Well, you know what? There's so much frustration about so many things in the world right now, and you know, when someone comes along and says, "Hey, let's have some fun," and let's do some good at the same time, and you know, I saw that and I thought, you know, that's awesome. People need to know about this, and you know, that's that. You know, that there's your. I always feel like when I finish these interviews, and I feel like this now, that you know, this is I can walk away happy from this, and anybody who's watching this or listening to this, you know, they can walk away happy too, and feel like, you know, there's some good in the world. I've got a little bit more faith in humanity now. So, so thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me on it.
And everyone, check out those links in the show notes.
Thank you.
We don't have a Playing the Other segment this week, but we hope to in future episodes. So if you are disabled or neurodivergent or have chronic or mental illness, please contact me at wyrmworkspublishing.com/contact to be my guest. And when you come on, you can talk about your experience with one of those disability, neurodivergence, chronic mental illness, and also give us a chance to get to know you as a person and to talk about any projects that you're working on right now. And then you also, just as our gift for being a guest on our show, will get a free copy of Limitless Heroics when it comes available. And so, as we wrap up, if you are not signed up for our newsletter yet, you can go do that right now, wyrmworkspublishing.com/anything. Wyrmworkspublishing.com. And if you can't do that right now because you're driving, let me help you with that. Hey, Google, remind me in 2 hours to sign up for the newsletter at wyrmworkspublishing.com. Wait, don't miss your next turn. Take a left at the corner up here. And if you see the show being helpful, hit the like button if you're watching this on YouTube or somewhere else where you can do that. If you'd like to see more, you can subscribe. If you know people who need to hear this, please pass it on to them. And if you, like me, think everyone needs to hear this, then pass it on to your social media friends. Don't forget those podcast ratings. It really makes a big difference to spread the word, or leave a review. We really appreciate it. So we close with this question: how have role-playing games helped you make the world a better place?